my dear people, it's so good to be back here. It's so exciting. I appreciate you guys for your love and your support. It's always good that you're here. It's a good day, and don't forget, today is Ondo state election, and of course the governor and other candidates are also prepared to cast their vote and hope, keeping their fingers crossed that they emerge as the winner of the Ondo election. And right here, you will not believe it that uh, during this election, a boat conveying electoral materials and INEC staff capsized in the water. Oh my God, this is bad news. Though it's a normal occurrence in Ondo election that boats are always capsizing. It is either just concluded votes that are about to be counted, maybe the boat capsized, or perhaps the materials that will be used in that community, as the boat was coming, it capsized and all of that. It's a normal occurrence. And we're hoping this time around it will not be like that, but it's still like that. It is just something that keeps happening, and we really don't know why it has to keep happening like this every time the Ondo has the serious elections to do. But anyway, guys, I'll bring you more details of this. But before then, please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor you hit the subscribe button and also give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to turn on your notification bell. Yes, it is exciting. Okay, let us dive right into the details of this report, as it says that both conveying electoral materials, INEC staff capsized. A boat carrying some electoral materials to the riverine Ilaje communities of Ilaje local government area of Ondo State has capsized. It was gathered that the boat carried some ad hoc staffs of the Independent National Electoral Commission with some election materials in the Igbo-Koda area of the local government. And the source said there was no casualty in the incident, as the men of the Nigerian Navy rescued all the victims and the election materials. When contacted, the public relations officer of the state's police command, Mr. T. Leo Ikoro, confirmed the incident, describing it as a minor accident. He said it happened, but it was a minor mishap because there was no casualty and nothing happened to the election materials. Everything is intact. And you know that there are 17 political parties, including the All Progressive Congress and the People's Democratic Party, are fielding candidates in today's governorship election in Ondo State. However, there are only 3 main contestants, and analysts have predicted the pool will largely be a 3-horse race. The 3 parties are the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, the People's Democratic Party PDP, and the Zenith Labour Party ZLP, with Akeredolu, Mr. Eyitayo Jegede, and Deputy Governor Agbola Ajayi as the respective candidates. Of course, you all know how the story of this Ondo election has been since they started. Remember, the deputy governor of the state left the governor and left the All Progressive Congress to join the People's Democratic Party, but somehow also he was not picked in the People's Democratic Party. During the primaries, he was not qualified somehow, so he left and moved to the the Zenith Labour Party, and that is where he has been. And that now made the election very tough. Instead of the election to be between the All Progressive Congress and the People's Democratic Party as it was during the Ondo State election, this had to be a 3-man thing. It's no longer like that of Edo State that has to do with the incumbent and Pastor Yamu. This now has to do with 3 people: the incumbent governor, the deputy governor, and the candidates of the People's Democratic Party, Eyitayo Jegede. So 3 of them are now the main contestants for this very election, which is also good because it makes it very interesting. This is how elections should be. It shouldn't even be among just 3 political parties. It should be a strong contention between whatever numbers of parties, but it seems the other parties don't always act too serious. So they are always not saying they are seen on the ground. Most of the time they try to merge with other parties as the election draws closer because they see that there's no future for them, or perhaps, but I just feel it's just lack of their own seriousness to get into the grassroots in every community in the state. And of course, it still had to do with finance because Of course, Nigeria election, you need a lot of money, and that is the belief that most Nigerians even have, even the electorate. They are one of the major problems when it has to do with election, because if you don't have money, you get to a certain community and everyone is expecting you to share money, and you are like, okay, I bring you good tidings, I expect you vote for me because this is what I bring. They just look at you like, hey, this one is not serious. How can you just come to our community, just come and preach to us without giving us anything, and you're telling us to come and vote for you? Is a normal thing. But because they are so used to the two parties, it is either the People's Democratic Party or the All Progressive Congress fighting against each other. That is what Nigerians want to see. They are always for both of those parties. Anything outside those parties, you can hardly make it, except you are someone that have been a grassroots politician before. If you go to any other party, you can get a lot of these guys to support you and all of that. But aside that, you are likely to really struggle for a very long time. Even the young guys that wants to join politics today, it is still advisable that they join any of these parties and try to make it better, because it seems the electorate are not ready to even vote in any other party. As much as you can talk from now to tomorrow, most of these guys are not ready to vote for any of the other parties in Nigeria. But anyway, really, thank God there are no casualty in the Ondo state boat capsized, and thank God that the naval officer reported that there was no casualty. They were able to rescue all the adult staff that were in the boat, and even the electoral materials were all safe. None got wet and everything. At least it's a welcome development and it's a good one. No one has died. Thank God it's not through violence or any means. At least they are safe and they are okay. That enough is very, very okay. But I really hope that this time around, all these electoral materials will not be thrown into the water by the time voting is over, because it is a normal thing that happens around those areas during election in Ondo State. It is a normal thing. Before you know it, they will tell you this community, as they were coming back, the boat capsized and all the materials fell into the water, and that is it. You can't begin to start picking, those papers with thumbprints that have been washed by water and try to count. So from those communities, you just be so shocked that there are no voting from those areas, which will also affect whichever candidate who must have won those local governments. It will affect them a great deal. So, but all the same, thank God it's a 3-man thing, so definitely it should be a hard fight and should be a solid fight between them. So guys, that is it from here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Just keep your fingers crossed, as more of the details of the Ondo State election will come to you shortly. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Do have a pleasant time. Bye for now.